What's up guys, it's Mozaman here, and in this video we're going to talk about the mad world of cryptocurrency and how I invested £1,000 of my own money and made a return of £12,000 in just 4 weeks. Now that represents roughly an increase of 1,000% for my initial investment. Now I know that sounds crazy, and it sounds crazy to me. Now, although this story that I'm going to talk about is a success story, I'm not necessarily promoting cryptocurrency, nor am I recommending any coins that you should invest in. It's purely a video just talking about my opinions and my experiences of what I think the cryptocurrency is all about. In fact, my investment was supposed to return me 10 times that amount. So I was looking in around the six figures, upwards of £100,000. But due to some issues, some technical difficulties that the whole industry had around 2017, 2018, and which I'll talk to you about in the rest of the video, I could not make that money. So please stay tuned to see the rest of the video. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can check out more videos just like this, and just leave a comment because I really want to hear and get some feedback about what you think about this video in general, and what you think about cryptocurrency, and whether you think it's a good investment or not. When people think about cryptocurrency, they're most likely to think of Bitcoins. Bitcoin is obviously the #1 cryptocurrency on the market. It's probably the most popular one and probably the most well-known one. Now, Bitcoin was invented back in 2008 and was launched in 2009. In 10 years now, so it's almost been a decade. And let's be honest, in those 10 years, most of the news and the headlines around cryptocurrency has been almost negative. There's been some positive news, but mostly negative. The reason people are still probably investing in this is because, there's that one or two really rare stories that you hear about where some poor guy sitting in his computer managed to invest in a currency or some coin and managed to become millions of dollars out in literally months or weeks. Now I have to admit, I was one of those people, although that when I first started noticing the cryptocurrency and Bitcoins in general, I knew it was a market that people always said was easy to hack into. It's not safe, it's not secure. People would say it's mostly for the underground market or the black market, it's by criminals and drug lords. So all these things were still in the air. So personally, I reckon that the Bitcoins and cryptocurrency in general started to hit the mass market roughly around mid-2016, towards the end of 2016, and really started just go mental in 2017. So I remember talking to a very close friend of mine who has been looking into cryptocurrency and Bitcoins in general for a good 5 to 6 years prior, 2011, 2012 at the time. So he's been looking into it 3, 4, 5 years, and he's like, Mo, you need to get involved in this. This is gonna go crazy. It's gonna pump so quickly. You have no idea what you're missing out on. Just invest a little bit of money. You will not regret it in a couple of years time. So the strategy I was going to use for investing is very simple actually. I used a 4-step strategy. I've done investments before, while I invest in the stock market. So this is nothing very new to me. So yeah, we're going to go through it in the next couple of minutes, what those strategies were. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do was look into the currencies I wanted to invest in. Now, I wanted to be extremely safe and kind of cautious there because there's so much going on at the time. Even so, I only looked into the top five currencies at the time, which were Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, something called Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, those coins are actually still around today. So we're in 2019 now. I was looking at these back in 2017. Okay, so the next step was to figure out exactly how much I wanted to invest. The initial figures I was looking at was around £1,000 to £10,000. Now I didn't want to put too much in because I didn't want to lose too much, obviously, but also I didn't want to put too little in because I wanted a genuine return. And I'll tell you exactly why I only ended up investing £1,000, because it was going to be a whole lot more. So the next thing we did was a little bit unorthodox, but we decided to choose a currency that was sitting at under $1. So we decided to go with something called Ripple. So that was one of the top 5 we spoke of earlier. Now Ripple was sitting at $0.23 at the time in 2017, and that's around the price that I got in at. The reason why I decided to go for something under $1 is because Bitcoin at that time already was sitting around 3 to 4, I think around 4 or 5,000 pounds. So one Bitcoin was 5,000 pounds, compared to say Ripple, where you can buy one for $0.23. Now I know you don't have to buy an entire Bitcoin. You can buy a percentage or a small part of it. It's better to go for something like this because when people start rushing in and trying to buy these different coins, it's probably easier or easier to buy something that's under $1, so you can buy a lot more for your money than say Bitcoin, where you only get a percentage of it. So the final thing to do was obviously get out once I've hit my target price. So I was initially looking at 0.46, so double my initial investments. But what seemed realistic to me at the time because the market was just moving so quickly, so I thought it would be quite realistic. That's it. Those are the 4 steps. Let's go and move on to what actually happened when I did invest and how I went about doing that. So now that I feel I've got it all kind of figured out, I know the coin that I want to buy, I know roughly how much I want to invest in. Next step was obviously to go and find an exchange where I can buy this coin. The one I decided to go with was something called Bitstamp. Now it's a UK-based crypto exchange. It's actually founded in Luxembourg, but they've got an office here in London. So I thought if anything's going to go wrong with this currency or with this exchange, I can go to their office and knock on their door and ask some questions. The best thing about this one was you could use a credit card, you can use a debit card, or you can use a bank transfer to load or deposit money into the exchange and buy the coins through there. So here we can see a history of the transactions I made in my Bitstamp account. So we started off with a small $500 deposit to buy some Ripple at $0.23. So we got around 2,000 Ripples there. So once I knew that worked, I decided to go ahead and buy another $500 worth of Ripple at $0.32. As you can see, those purchases were made on the 1st of December 2017 with a total of around $1,000 investment. And what happened next was an absolute shock to me. I woke up in the next couple of days, 2 to 3 days later, and saw that my investment already doubled. So it went from 0.23 US dollars Ripple and it went to 0.46. It doubled already. And I was thinking, wait, hang on a sec. I've hit my number 4 strategy, which was, get out the moment I've doubled my money. But when this happened that fast, I just got too greedy. I thought, no way, I cannot let this one go. There's something happening here. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone that I've spoken to are talking about investing in Bitcoin, investing in cryptocurrency. It's on the news almost every single hour of the day. It's on Bloomberg. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone is trying to get on this bandwagon. So I was like, no way am I going to sell now. This is going to go further. So what I decided to was to invest more. So I invested only $1,000. I wanted to get more in there. So $10,000 was my max. Wanted to put more money in there. Put it on my credit card and I was like, hey, I'm going to do this. Went into Bitstamp, tried to buy $10,000 worth of Ripple, declined. Tried to buy $5,000, declined. Okay, let me try $1,000, declined. What? So I put out another debit card or another credit card, declined. Tried to do a bank transfer, declined. It was not working. It was the most frustrating time of my life. Decided to email them. So here's an email that I sent. It was around December 18th. And it said, hi, I've been unable to make any purchases on your site for over 5 days. I've tried 5 different cards with 4 different banks and all give the same message, bank declines transaction. However, I've contacted banks and they say they are not blocking any transactions, therefore this is a problem with Bitstamp. But they responded to me by saying, dear Mohammed, according to our logs, your credit card deposit requests have failed due to account holder does not match customer name. I just made 2 purchases on December the 1st with the exact same card. We did not decline it then, so I have no reason why you're declining it now. Okay guys, just to put things into perspective here, let me show you a historical chart of Ripple around about the time where I got involved. So if we flip over here onto this screen, but as you can see, it's around 0.23 cents around the time I got in, so December 4th. And you can see the next data point is at $0.74 dollars around December 11th. So you can see the moment I got in, when smack bam, it freaking doubled within the first couple of days. It even almost tripled at that point. So crazy time. I wanted to try and get involved more, but obviously I couldn't purchase anymore. The reason why that happened is purely because there was just so much traffic. There were so many people trying to buy currencies at the time. Companies or the exchanges did not keep up with the amount of traffic that was coming through. I cannot really blame them at this time, but ultimately, as you can see, what happened, it was a massive spike. It pumped all the way, kept pumping and pumping all the way to around 2.7 in January, the 1st of January. In fact, it went above $3 at one point. It's just not here on the chart. And then you can see it spectacularly crashed thereafter. To give you a little bit more perspective, Ripple increased in value that much. The co-founder of Ripple actually became the world's 5th richest person in that little time period. So by the end of 2017 and the beginning of January, he was actually sitting there with the likes of the Google billionaires and Bill Gates and those guys, one of the world's richest men, because when the price hit $3, he actually had around 60%. I think he had a control about 60 or 50% of all the Ripple currencies out there. So you can just see the amount of money that went flooding into that currency and flooding into the cryptocurrency market in general. Then it hit me. I was sitting at 1,500% increase from my initial investment. So I was sitting on around $15,000 worth of Ripple currency. But then I thought to myself, if I can't put money in, am I going to be able to take money out? By now, I was extremely fed up with the whole thing in general. I did not want to be invested anymore. I made enough money already, so I just wanted to pull everything out. So I decided to seek the advice of my friend who got me into this in the first place, and he gave me an extremely neat trick to get my money back out. So what he told me to do is firstly convert my entire Ripple holdings into Bitcoins. What that allows you to do is Bitcoins can be moved around into other exchanges or into other wallets that it can possibly be that you can't necessarily do with Ripple. Okay, so what I did is I sold my entire Ripple holdings, and you can see here in my history of transactions that the Bitstamp did it in chunks as and when it could find a buyer. So I decided to sell my entire holdings of Ripple. So now I've converted my entire Ripple holdings into Bitcoin. Now you can transfer your Bitcoins to another wallet called localbitcoins.com. Now localbitcoins.com is a website which matches up sellers and buyers directly. So there's no exchange here. Okay, and it's purely just Bitcoins. So there's no exchange, it's just real people like you and I who can go onto this website and trade Bitcoins. Okay, so we didn't need the exchange. So I went into this website, found a seller, and yeah, greatly found a seller who was willing to buy it, sent over my details, and boom, put the cash into the account, and that was it. As you know, the industry is extremely volatile. So in that process of moving my Ripple into Bitcoin and transferring the Bitcoin into localbitcoins.com and then selling it, I ended up paying quite a bit of commission, ended up losing some value, as that's when the whole cryptocurrencies just started crashing, and ended up for my £15,000 or $15,000, that the high that I had ended up being more around 11.5, closer to £12,000. So you're probably thinking, wow, Mo, you smashed it. In fact, can you smash the like button while you're there? But no, I did not smash it. I was actually lucky. If you see the graph that I showed you earlier on the Ripple, I hit the peak so well. I got in so early and I managed to get out just at the right time. And I only got out because I was just sick and tired of what was going on. I just wanted to get my money back out. So it wasn't actually a strategic move. I mean, I doubled my money within the first week and I didn't pull it out. So I didn't exactly follow my own strategy, but I managed to get out at the most perfect time. In fact, if you look at any other currency during that time, the exact same period between 2017 and 2018, you would see everyone had that peak. Everyone had that pump and that crashed thereafter. So it wasn't just the Ripple currency that did very well. Other currencies did extremely well too. Bitcoin actually reached $19,000 at one point. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, please hit the like button and please subscribe to see future videos. And I guess I'll see you guys soon.